This is Sam from Uniondale, and you're tuning into another edition of the Sam I Analyze Show. The Knicks choke away Game 2. Let's analyze. I'm watching this game, all right, and I'm like, I don't like the way this fourth quarter is starting. Now, leading to the fourth quarter, there are a few things that stood out to me, right? One, the bench was non-existent. Landry Shamet, I'll give him grace. He fell, right? And clean up on aisle 9. I don't know what was going on with, this is home cooking. On our side of the floor, whatever it is, he slipped. So I'm sure that somebody's going to get spoken to. But, it happens. But that was a pretty bad slip. That was a wet spot on the floor. It happens. Whatever. So Landry Shamet was non-existent. Deuce McBride, I told you last game, I think he was like 2 for 6 from 3, and he lit up in the fourth quarter. Where was the bench, y'all? Where was the bench? So that was key. Jonathan Kuminga woke up. I think he had like 20 points off the bench. Jonathan Kuminga, for them, he scored in 35 minutes 19 points. That was a problem. That was the problem right there. The Knicks got, Mitch gave us 13 points, 6 for 6. Jordan Clarkson gave us 7 points. He was 3 for 6. But they got a donut from Landry Shamet. They got a donut from Deuce McBride, 13 minutes, 0 for 3. See, that can't happen. That cannot happen, y'all. Jose Alvarado, 9 minutes. That can't happen. That 0 across the boards. You had Mitchell Robinson with 13 points. That can't happen. Now, I think this has me concerned because I don't know what happened, but the Knicks were rolling. I thought they discovered the two-man game, the two-man action, pick and roll, pick and pop. I didn't see it. And I thought that was a staple, and I thought that was a go-to for this Knicks team. I feel that the Atlanta Hawks have no answer for one Karl-Anthony Towns. And clearly, he was showing it in the third quarter. He's as Melo said, he's a second half guy, it seems, right? He had 18 points. He was 2 for 5 from 3, 8 rebounds. And I just feel like the Knicks, now, a lot of the stuff that happened to them was self-inflicted, right? The Knicks shot poorly, okay? They shot poorly. The Knicks were, let's analyze real quick. The Knicks were 63% from the free throw line. They missed 10, and they shot 32% from 3. That will do it. And what happened to them after, I think they were up 8 or 9 in the fourth quarter, and they ended up, what did they end up doing? What ended up happening is in the fourth, they were outscored 28-15, and they shot 5 for 22. That will do it. That will do it. So, with that said, is the sky falling? Not yet. Not yet. But be careful, Knicks and Mike Brown, Jalen Brunson and company. Be very careful. Because when they traded away the leprechaun in Trae Young, right? Oh, is that what they were calling him? I forgot what Knicks fans were calling him, all types of stuff. And that's the cleanest thing that I can think of. But I believe that's what it was. I believe that CJ McCollum was not a throw-in in that trade. And CJ McCollum, to me, is a guy who, listen, he's 34 years young, but look at what he's doing. He's pretty much washing what Brunson is doing. He actually outplayed Brunson. He's been outplaying Brunson. If we really want to keep it a buck, CJ McCollum had 32 points in 35 minutes. He was 12 for 22. And he was clutch in that fourth quarter, lighting up. And that was a problem I had. Look, I love what Jose Alvarado has brought to this team, what he's meant to this team. He's, as I dubbed him, he's a seamless fit, great guy, great energy guy. But CJ McCollum is cut from the same cloth as a Dame Lillard, as a Jalen Brunson, and any clutch player you want to put in that sentence playing today, or whatever clutch player. CJ McCollum is him. And when Jose started talking, I'm like, Jose, I get it. You're trying to get your team galvanized and the crowd going, and possibly you didn't like what CJ had to say about Jalen Brunson and, with the foul from game one and all this stuff. Cool. But you don't want to poke the bear. This guy, CJ McCollum, is of the same cloth as Jalen Brunson. When it comes down to clutch time, you need a basket. I'm not afraid of the Garden. That's CJ McCollum. If you guys didn't know, you better ask. I'm telling you, he's the real deal. 34 years young and everything. And I know he's towards the back side of his career, so they will say, who knows, unless he's channeling his inner LeBron and he's going to play into his 40s. But he is that guy, he's built like that. So I told you, when the Knicks were looking for a point guard, I'm like, you know what, they should go look at CJ McCollum. I know he played off guard with Damian Lillard, but that's how much I thought he was a guy. Just, you put him on the stage, game on the line, big game, playoffs. Go look at what he used to do at Portland. He's the real deal. So again, and I'm not putting this on Alvarado, but he put a battery in his back by getting in his face, and you saw him smirk like, all right. And he activated and he went off. Now, Knicks fans, the sky's not falling. The Knicks make their shots. OG Anunoby, I'm sure he's kicking himself. And Noah, Iron Eagle's son, Noah, I think he kind of he jinxed CJ McCollum with those two misses, and he also jinxed OG Anunoby. And I know people, I don't believe in superstition. Me neither. But anyway, he jinxed them. He did. Because he said, OG Anunoby is an 82% free throw shooter and miss. CJ McCollum is 5 for 5 from the free throw line tonight. Miss. So it happened. It's a coincidence, whatever. But the Knicks make their a few more free throws. They miss 10. OG makes 2. Makes 1. The Knicks are going into overtime. When the game was ending, I'm like, why didn't Mike Brown call a timeout? Because they didn't have one. So now we have a series, y'all. And look, if you are a Knicks fan and been a Knicks fan, this is not new to us. Our feelings being hurt, our heart being ripped, or the mat pulled, the rug pulled from under us. This is not new to us. So we're good, right? We're okay. The only thing I say here is the Knicks have to be very careful. If the Knicks are going to win the series, you cannot get donuts across the board from the bench, right? Mitch cannot be your leading scorer. Now, against this team, possibly yes, because they have no answer for Mitchell Robinson and Karl-Anthony Towns, right? And I think another thing that, and I know the Knicks were struggling shooting-wise, so that's what it is, and that's why Brunson, so I've heard people, Brunson was playing hero ball or not passing the ball, and he and Josh Hart were not, they were running pick and roll far from the basket and all this. I think what happened was the Knicks panicked. They stopped trusting each other, moving the ball, and they were sped up. They could not make shots, and that's why they lost. The Knicks should have won this game. The Knicks should have won this game. And again, if I think I blame the lack of the missed 3-pointers, wide open 3-pointers. The fourth quarter was a disaster scoring-wise. They had nothing. I feel like Mike Brown should have ran more two-man action, got Cat and Brunson more. Do something, man, because from that two-man action, you see it opens up the floor for an OG, Mikal, and it just gets everything going. But I don't expect the lack of bench scoring or production to continue. And if it does, on Thursday, Mike Brown has to go into the war chest. I know he put some of his tools back in the toolbox, and I know some people are going to say, well, you play only 9 players in the playoffs or 8 players in the playoffs. I've never bought into that. If you're getting nothing from these guys, break glass. Play Mo Diawara. The same way he played Jose Alvarado. Do not be afraid to play the rookie. I'm sorry. You got to do it. You've got to do it. Break glass. He's on the bench for a reason. Play other players if you're not getting any production from these guys. If you're not going to produce, on to the next one. It's about winning. It's not about egos. But I don't think it's going to happen. That's just me, though. If I was running the show, all right, you guys, the donuts cannot continue. I'm going to have to sit, next. Because I'm going to tell you this. I don't believe the Knicks are in trouble. I think the Knicks will win this series in 5 or 6. I think they'll figure it out. They should have, I don't know, did they even run a double team or they left Brunson guarding McCollum by himself on an island? That's what I saw a lot of. But again, the sky's not falling yet. There's a lot of pressure on the Knicks now. I'll tell you this. They have to get the home court advantage back. I think if I'm the Knicks, get game 3, get game 4. Don't let these guys think that they have a chance. And they're playing with house money, so they say. But I think when you have somebody like CJ McCollum on that side, they believe. And you've got 2 guys in Nickeil Alexander-Walker who has not figured it out yet. And the Knicks have done a great job of keeping him quiet. Jalen Johnson, 17 points tonight. He was 5 for 5 from the free throw line. Players play better at the crib. So the Knicks are going to have to be ready for it. Again, the Knicks should handle them. And they better. Because if they don't, man, this thing can get ugly fast. But I don't anticipate that. I think the Knicks will handle their business. Again, their bench and their lack of bench production has to get better if they're going to win this series and win in general. But what say you, Knicks fans? How do you feel? I know a lot of you are. I saw the Garden after the telecast, and you saw Alan Hahn on the Garden floor talking to Wally and Bill, and then it looked like everybody was just sitting there. I know I don't have playoff tickets. I'm not going to any playoff games, but I can only imagine. I wouldn't have, if I were at that game, I would have, I'm not staying. Why am I going to stand there in shock? I'm trying to catch that train. You already know. I'm trying to catch that train. But what say you, Knicks fans? How are you feeling about this loss? Now it's that time. Former Mets closer Edwin Diaz of the Dodgers is out until the second half due to elbow surgery. I'd like to thank you for tuning in. Folks, I'm on most social media platforms at SamIAnalyze. Please like, share, subscribe, and you see that notification bell to the right. Please click on that. That will let you know the next time I drop another video. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, à tout à l'heure.